Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today, I want to share with you my current top 10 for life. Now, this was a lot more difficult than I realized. I had to really think about it. Anyway, before I get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community. And without further ado, let's get into this. So the first fragrance, and these aren't in any particular order, PECHE YUZU by KYSE Perfumes. I really enjoy peach in fragrances. I find this mouth-wateringly delicious. So when you smell it, like you get a little bit of that yuzu, like it's a tartar peach, I guess. But lots of sweetness in there. But also somehow it feels a little bit like a pastry. There's some sort of aspect to it that gives me that pastry-esque vibe, especially as it dries down. It gets a little bit sweeter, a little bit more baking. So it's almost like you're baking baking a peach pie. You cut the peaches up, you put the sugar on it, then you put the pastry on it, then you put it in the pastry, you bake it all together. Somehow that's the vibe it gives me, but more peach than anything. I don't find this to be super synthetic peach, even though obviously it is. It just smells so delicious to me. But what I love doing with this one is layering it with different fragrances. So I've layered it with NUIT TRESOR Nude. I layer it with vanillas, and it just kind of brightens up whatever I'm putting it with, gives it a little bit of juiciness, but so it just layers so beautifully with so many different things. So I kind of wouldn't want to be without this one. Out of the KYSE fragrances, I would say that this is honestly my favorite one so far. I just love it. Like, I just find it so mouth-watering. I can wear it on its own too, but it's also just so versatile because you can layer. Now, the one thing that I'll say about this whole entire list, some are new, some are older, some you hear about all the time, some you don't hear about hardly at all. But the one thing that I haven't done is put any of my really new fragrances in. I wanted to leave those out. So where Idole Nectar might get into the list somewhere down the line, it's not in this one. But anyway, moving on, NUIT TRESOR Nude. Now, part of the reason for PECHE YUZU and bringing it along is because I love it with this fragrance. Out of the NUIT TRESOR fragrances, this is by far my favorite one that I have smelled. It is just absolutely gorgeous. You get the NUIT TRESOR DNA pared back a little bit, and then coconut added in there. There's a little bit of juiciness in there. It's just beautiful. And where some vanillas can smell a little bit young or a little bit cheap sometimes, this one smells so classy and so sophisticated. It is an elegant coconut vanilla fragrance. It's beautiful for summer, spring and summer, and I absolutely adore it. Now, this is also a new one, but I've been wearing it. Hesse's let me borrow it several times, gave me a decant, and it is ABSOLUTIO by NAVITUS. I had to include it. This, to me, is a very versatile fragrance because it's got that Baccarat Rouge feel. So you can dress it up, you can dress it down, like it's an everyday fragrance, but it smells super boozy, expensive, rich. I get compliments from this one. It just makes me happy. Somehow it gives me a happy vibe, but it smells at the same time uber decadent and very like wealthy. Like to me, it smells like you're loaded, like it's a bougie fragrance. I basically want to shove this thing up my nostril. But anyway, love this one like so much. I'm so happy to have my very own bottle. So we'll see. Like, I think I'll go through this one quite fast because I just love it so much. So ABSOLUTIO by NAVITUS. Have you tried this one? If you have, weigh in. I just think it's gorgeous. I like it better than Baccarat because it's got that chocolate and that spice. So anyway, NAVITUS is ABSOLUTIO. Next fragrance that I'm not going to talk about long, but it would be ridiculous if I didn't put this in the list because I talk about it nonstop and I can't get enough of it. And can you guess what it is? L'Extase by Nina Ricci. I know I talk about it too much, but I can't help it. This is again rose. I think I'm realizing rose is my favorite, like my absolute favorite note in fragrances as far as the florals are concerned. I just love rose. So this rose, you've got some raspberry in there. There's caramel in this. So it's kind of a fruity rose gourmand fragrance is what I say. Sensual, feminine, sexy, but not overtly sexy. I've said this before. It's the mysterious mom, because it is a little bit mature. It's the mysterious mom that wears a leather jacket. She kind of has her shirt undone a little bit, like quite loose, maybe has a few chains on. She rides a motorcycle, but she brings her kid in the minivan, but she really lives on her motorcycle. But you know, she also volunteers for all the events and stuff, and she just kind of has it going on. But she's quite mysterious. She's very soft. And yet there's just such an uber sensuality to her that you kind of wish that you were her. What's this fragrance? I wish I was her, but instead I'm the weirdo. Like, I'm always kind of the weirdo. But I can wish that I was this girl. So yeah, love. I so enjoy putting this on. Like, I always enjoy putting this on. It makes me feel just good. The next fragrance that is in my top 10 is Guerlain's Terracotta. Now this fragrance, it smells so amazing. Like, it smells like summer to me. It's summer in a bottle. It's got a lot of kind of yellow florals, or tropical florals. So there's tiare flower in here. I think there's ylang ylang. There's some coconut in here. Smells a little bit, oily somehow. It kind of gives me the vibe of Moroccan oil a little bit. This is just so beautiful. It's warm. It feels a little bit solar. I don't think it smells like sunscreen, but what it reminds me of, like, I've had my weird stories, which I won't share with you this time, of the heiress and whatnot. But this, when I smell it, it reminds me of one time I was in the Philippines and I stayed at this really fancy 5-star hotel that was on the ocean in Manila, like just outside of Manila. When you walked into the hotel, there was this ginormous table that was full of white orchids or lilies or something like that, some sort of white floral. And it literally permeated the whole room. It was just this beautiful smell, but as well as the smell was kind of the humid, beautiful air. And that's kind of what this gives me the vibe of. Very relaxing, luxe, rich. Like, this is what you would wear on the beach. Seriously, if you're an heiress, and you just have never known anything but luxury, you wear this in the summer. So I literally can't be without this. I find it so relaxing and just enjoy it. Next fragrance, this is new for me from this year, and that is Lyra by Xerjoff. It's part of the Casmerati line. I've said it before, it smells like a lemon pound cake, and it smells so amazingly delicious. A smoky lemon pound cake. So for something cozy and gourmand, this would be my go-to. This one, what's giving it a run for the money is the Broceliande by Soradora. That's giving this a run for its money, but it's brand new, so we'll see. But I'm in love with this fragrance. It just smells cozy. It smells warm, but it's still sophisticated. So yeah, just absolutely love this fragrance. Before I got this one, I had a dupe version and I sprayed it on myself like lots of evenings because I just find it so cozy. So Lyra by Xerjoff. Next fragrance that is in my top 10 that I literally would never want to be without is Blackbird by Untamed. Now, I'm sure you guys expected to see this because I've said it's definitely one of my top picks. It absolutely is. It's so rich and decadent. Again, this is a rose-centric fragrance. Definitely has the sandalwood. There's spiciness in this one. Sweet. It smells luxurious, like money. Again, very, very opulent smelling. It smells like a fancy occasion. That said, I'd wear it anytime. And this is the only fragrance that I have that pretty much anyone that smells it loves it. Like, it's just one of those ones where it just smells amazing. So if you like rose with some spices, jammy rose, with spices and sandalwood. So in the same genre is Santal Royal by Guerlain, or like an Oud Bouquet, like that kind of opulent jammy rose type fragrance. You would love this. Untamed also has 10 mils for $60. I think the 30 mil is $175. I'll have it linked down below for you, but it is so beautiful. They also have discovery kits, but this one, oh, my Greek lover, is just amazing as well. I love this house, and I love Sunyata. She's just a wonderful person. Actually, her whole family is wonderful. Like, they are just very, very amazing, lovely, lovely people. So yeah, I want to support her because she's a lovely, wonderful person. She's trained hard on her own to make these fragrances, and this one to me holds its own with some of the absolute best jammy rose woody combinations out there. It is right up there with them, if not surpassing them, in my opinion. So absolutely love it. The performance on this is phenomenal, and I wouldn't be without it. Next fragrance in my top 10 for life. I can't ever be without this one. Like, this one will be in my collection even when I'm old. No matter what, this perfume will always be in my top 10, mainly because I'm kind of loyal to it now for some reason. And yeah, it's COCO Mademoiselle. I almost get teary talking about some of these top 10 ones, because perfume isn't just, it's not just about smelling good. It's about the experiences. We are so sensory, and smells stick with you. So smells get attached to memories, and this is attached to everything good in my life. It's attached to my husband. It's attached to my son. And I love them so much. And so this fragrance is attached to being part of their lives somehow. And so, yeah, COCO Mademoiselle is special from that perspective, and sentimental. So I hold it close to my heart. But beyond that, the fragrance, oh, I wish I could quit crying. I'm such a crier. Anyway, this fragrance, it smells classy. It smells sophisticated. I could wear it every day and never get sick of it. I find it energizing. I find it clarifying or grounding somehow as well. It has a beautiful kind of warm, sweet citrus opening, orange opening. And then it's got some beautiful florals in there. There's some woodiness and some vanilla in the base. I have smelt the Intense recently, really like the Intense, but I think the original is the COCO Mademoiselle for me. Nevertheless, this is just beautiful, long lasting, one of the most classy fragrances. I know that, like, people consider it a little bit pedestrian or whatever because so many people wear it. I don't care. I just literally don't care. It's just a freaking awesome fragrance. Really glad I have it. Not everybody loves it. That's okay. It's one of my favorites though. Next in my top 10 for life, I couldn't choose between these two, and they're both aliens. So basically something of an alien would have to come with me. So this one is not available. So in a perfect world, this would still be around, and this would be my number one. I absolutely adore Alien Essence Absolute. It's my favorite alien. It's like just so freaking, it's like they've taken the essence of Alien, smashed it with more goodness, and then put it in a bottle. So really, really, really sexy, delicious. But honestly, the original Alien, I just love it too. This is the actual Terry Mugler version as opposed to just the Mugler. So it's the before it got reformulated. I absolutely love this, but I find that the new one, I haven't tried the new one in a long time. It seemed a little bit more soapy than the Terry Mugler version, but they're both pretty darn phenomenal. So there would just have to be an alien in the collection for sure. And the last fragrance in my top 10 for life is honestly Amouage Sunshine. First of all, I love this bottle so much. It's so, so gorgeous. Like it's like a little piece of jewelry on your dressing table. It's just beautiful. So love the bottle. But this fragrance, I really, really love it. It reminds me of the beginning of my fragrance adventures because I had a dupe of it from Be Layered, and when I first smelled it, I thought, ugh, this isn't for me. But then when I tried it on the skin, first of all, it was ridiculously long lasting, but I loved the way it morphed on my skin, and I just loved it. So then I had the opportunity to get this from FragranceNet, and I'm just absolutely in love with this fragrance. So it's very almondy. There's osmanthus in here. There's also white tobacco flower. So there's a little bit of a soft, warm, it's not like tobacco from Tobacco Vanille. It's a little bit more mellow, almost vanillic, but the tobacco adds a bit of warmth and a bit of moisture. So this feels like, you know, those summer days that are really quite hot, but it's cloudy outside and a little bit humid, so it feels cooler than it is. And it just feels, the air is just very present. Somehow that's the vibe that this gives. I find it really relaxing, yet comforting. This is uber long lasting. It's very sophisticated, and it smells uber bougie as well. So I love this one. It's definitely different. It certainly isn't, like, it's probably the most polarizing as far as being kind of unique. So I can see that a lot of people wouldn't like this. I absolutely love this. It's beautiful all year round too. Like, even though it has a bit of that sunshiny vibe, it certainly isn't tropical or so summery that you couldn't wear it all year round. And this thing projects beautifully in the fall and winter. So it's an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. And if you want a unique signature fragrance, this would be amazing, honestly. And that is it. Those are my top 10 for life. I love those fragrances. What about you? Feel free to leave your top 10 or top 5, top 3, top, whatever. Feel free to leave your list in the bottom. My list is ever changing and evolving because I'm getting to try new perfumes and explore new houses, which is so exciting. But currently, that is my top 10. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.